Well, we are now actively recording, so we better be good. Hello.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Under Queer Review, where I'm joined by my lovely co hosts to discuss, dissect, and critique queer media film, television, books, comics, and anything of that nature. Today, we are going to be looking at the film Love, Simon. I'm joined, as usual, by the beautiful and enigmatic Matt Klubeck.
My full name.
You don't do it any other way.
You put me on
And
blast. My full name.
and the stunning, gorgeous, and sensual Jackie.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Matt, how are you? Jackie, how are you?
I'm living. I'm alive.
I'm the opposite. I'm very dead, actually. After last night, I am still recovering slowly.
I am actually surprised at how good I feel. I feel pretty good.
Yeah. Are you feeling your age, Matt?
I'm feeling my age, but Jackie, being that you just watched this movie today, Love, Simon, would you say that it re-energized you from our excursions last night?
No, I had like a lesbian adrenaline boost this afternoon. I went to an RV show. So I got to go around looking at trailers.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
That was kind of like a reawakening for me. So it's been a gay roller coaster. I don't feel my age. I feel 21. I feel like we just went to that frat party last night and and I'm ready to go again round 2.
Did you go with Roz to the RV show?
I didn't know. Oh. I went with my sister, my uncle, my sister's boyfriend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great.
Nice.
Well,
then I was sending pics to Roz. Like, I think this trailer could work for us.
Which Roz?
Anyway. I got both their numbers, so I just close my eyes and
it's so strange they have the same number.
Yeah.
So this film, Love, Simon, came out, oh Lord,
2018.
2018.
Feels like forever ago, but it really was only 5 years ago.
They were making Trump references like in the movie, and I was like, wow, that feels like 10 years ago.
God, did they really reference that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What was the reference?
There was a few. There was like Bram was dressed up as Barack Obama post presidency.
Oh.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Barack Obama, hoping Trump doesn't ruin my legacy." And then fucking Martin's voicemail recording is like, "This is Donald J. Trump. Leave a message after the beep." Yeah,
Damn.
there's a few of those. And then like the mom is making signs at one point, like smash the patriarchy or something.
She
and I was like,
wrong.
is that like a women's rights march? I could tell that was that too.
But yeah, the film itself is based on a book, Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda. Matt and I have read the book. We have all watched the film, so let's get into it.
Let's take a nice critical lens to this lovely movie. Has it aged at all? I don't know.
I certainly have.
I certainly have as well.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about it. What did Love, Simon do well? What do we think? The silence is...
He looked like he was gonna talk.
No, it captured anxiety well. I think that Simon's anxiety over his closetedness, his, being in the closet still, and fearing of the fear of being outed, I think that was captured very well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Several circumstances, like him interacting with his parents and his father mentioning, like, him having a girlfriend, him masturbating to a woman, which is very, very strange. That if, I don't know, did your parents ever be like, hey, were you masturbating in there?
No.
No,
No. I didn't think so either.
My parents never did that, no.
Yeah. But I think it captured his anxiety very well.
Would you say... this is what I think it did well. Oh my god. My train of thought just completely left my body.
It's that margarita.
The
Still.
margarita, the leftover margarita.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
forgot completely what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I remember what I was gonna say now.
Okay. Okay.
Here's what I think the movie did well. I think
Yeah.
it did well of making you feel and empathize with Simon as someone watching the movie, as anybody watching the movie. So I didn't feel too much like it was tailored like a gay person had to watch this in order to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a good movie in that it could pander to everybody. Like a straight person could watch this movie and understand Simon's plight, understand what he's going through. Um, so I think it's a very good way of depicting that for someone who knows nothing about gay people or the gay community, and kind of introducing that or introducing them to that concept. That was my
I,
feel.
yeah, I agree with that. And I think it tells the story of how important it can be for someone to have agency over how they come out so well. Like that's, so integral to the plot, and I think they did a good job at that. Where I think that could be lost on people like Martin, who maybe don't fully understand the scale of their actions when they are threatening to out someone. I don't think they
Yeah.
fully understand that, and I think it demonstrated how devastating and significant that can be. So I thought it did that well.
Martin was giving incel vibes. He was giving like white man behind a computer posting online anonymously incel vibes. Um,
Yeah,
having to like blackmail someone to get them to help you get with a woman because you can't get a woman on your own because of your personality and how you present yourself. It's giving incel.
yeah,
It's giving
agreed.
4chan.
It's giving
Yeah,
4chan.
giving 4chan.
It's giving 4chan.
He
Since we're talking about Martin, there is a question on here about how we feel about Martin as the villain, um,
Mm.
villain quote unquote of this saga. Um, uh, I don't think it was giving.
Okay, so what don't you think it was like? What was he not giving?
um, uh, I mean, the question here is like, was he empathetic? Like, he obviously wasn't empathetic to Simon. Like, like he
Well,
want. You're right that he
go ahead.
wants to get with this. He wants to get with this girl, so he's like, "Oh, this closeted gay kid. I'm gonna bribe him, to help me get with her." He's not a very like you don't do that to people. Like, you don't
Mm,
you don't bribe. You don't blackmail people. I mean, people do,
I know, but it's awful.
but it's just like, oh, I mean, that doesn't make me empathize with him. I don't think that makes him a compelling villain. It just makes him an asshole.
I mean, he's insidious. He's evil. If that's what makes a villain, then yeah, but he's not empathetic. At least I don't empathize with him because I don't understand his plight. Like there was a time in my life where I wasn't like dating anyone and I didn't think anyone liked me. I didn't go find like the nearest person and blackmail them with like their deepest, darkest secret into helping me find like a hole to put my cock in. Like
Hmm.
it's like I don't understand. Which I think this kind of stuff must happen in real life. I'm sure it does. But
It's so shallow, though. I feel it's so
yeah,
shallow.
it's really shallow. I guess it's the writer, Becky Albert, was it Albertelli, the
Yeah.
author of the book? I mean, she needed drama around this focal point of coming out. This is what she wrote about. And the plot moves, it's enjoyable, even both the film and the novel. So, you know, it's compelling. You want to see what happens. It's not like kind of boring, but it's also like, ugh, like watching it, like they try to redeem him by the end of the film a little
Hmm.
bit, try to make him likable, and I just was like, this man could be kill him off.
I'm kind of over it when they actually first after he posts the letters, Simon's letters, and so Leah calls Simon. It's just like you need to go look at whatever the secret site is like right
Yeah.
now. Before it was revealed that they had been posted, I was like, oh, Martin killed himself. I was like, that's going to be the big reveal. I really thought that he was going to be like so embarrassed and ashamed that he just killed himself.
Oh my
But he
God.
didn't. He did a dick thing. I didn't find him. I also didn't find him
You've killed
empathetic.
Pat. You've
I
killed
really
him.
killed Pat.
Oh,
I didn't find him super empathetic. I liked him, in moments like before I realized, before it was, that he outed somebody. I was like, oh, like you were like misunderstood and not super social, and I can see how you need friends. But I would agree. He's not super compelling, but the plot does move. Hey Pat, you look like you're back. What's up?
I didn't expect you to say that. Came out of left field, and you know what? That's giving. That plot development would have been, because then you get to explore not only the topic of queerness and coming out and being in the closet, yada yada yada, but then you also get to explore like the kind of like internet culture where people can be shamed so or humiliated so much, because that video of him, he embarrassed himself in front of the whole school. Basically, the video of him is online circulating. He's already troubled. He probably already has a lot of
He's
internal
probably already
conflict,
on 4chan.
so probably on 4chan.
Yeah.
So pushing it in that direction would have been super tragic, but it's another opportunity to explore this sort of other real side of internet culture that is more depressing. But I mean, it is a YA novel, which was not. I mean, not that people don't die in YA novels, but it's more
Yep.
of like a upbeat kind of
It
gig,
is.
I
know?
think
It's a bit idyllic.
I think that topic could have been explored in maybe a different novel.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The sequel.
The sequel, maybe in Love
Sequel.
Victor. Who knows?
Oh, it's not Love Victor.
No, no.
Damn.
Okay, well, since we're kind of on the topic of like cons or like what this media didn't do well, what what are the gaps? What are the gaps with Love Simon? What do we think it could have done better?
I, I didn't like his straight friends.
Yeah.
Okay, two things. One, I didn't like his straight friends, particularly because I didn't like their reaction
Yeah.
to everything that happened.
Yep.
Um, Simon basically manipulated his friends to pair up with each other to benefit Martin so Martin could get with what's her name, which is horrible. You shouldn't do
Yeah.
that to your friends. But then, they're not super empathetic to his plight for a while. Like they
Yeah.
kind of need time, which is understandable. But plots like these, I don't like per se because everything could have been solved very easily if they had just communicated early.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of plots of like teenage, like high school stories, novels about teenagers. It's always like secrets being kept, inability to communicate out of fear of something happening. But it's like if you had just spoken about this could have been resolved in half the time, which I know is not good for a plot. It's not good for conflict, but I would have liked something, a different maybe driving force or a different circumstance, which would have made this more compelling to me. And the second thing is, it didn't feel gay enough.
Yeah. I could
It
see that.
didn't. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm empathizing with his queerness in that he's afraid to come out. I get that. I was too. But beyond that, there's nothing intrinsically gay or queer about the character. And some people will say, oh, well, not every gay person needs to be, flamboyant, or not every gay person needs to be listening to Cher, or not every gay person needs to be sucking cock at the corner of the like I get that. But I think the way this one was marketed, that it was, by Fox before Fox was bought out, or whatever, they were moved around. It was like sort of a big film, and I think it would have been nice to show this character have a little bit more queerness. He doesn't have to be like a fairy. Like he doesn't have to have my voice and my dispositions, but I think, exploring more of like what it is like to be queer in high school, maybe like the positive aspects that he could have really benefited from, or just different things, like social apps like Grinder, not necessarily Grinder, but something like that to elevate the representation in the film.
I think that yeah, obviously his character, when I read the book, I did not picture, because I read the book after I watched the movie. So, and usually when that happens, I'll picture me reading the book,
Mm.
and I'll picture the character as the character that they were in the movie. When
Mm,
I read the book afterwards, I pictured Simon as a completely different character in the book.
mm,
He is much more like explicitly queer, I would say, in the book. He has like certain like he talks about kind of like gay culture references or like pop culture references. It's like a very
share.
share, yeah. He
Mm,
may have not mentioned that specifically, but it's like pretty clear, like from Simon's inner thoughts and the way he like interacts with people, that he is not straight.
mm.
And the way he kind of talks and the way he kind of acts on the books is like just very different. But in the movie, it's almost like he is straight, but he's gay. Like, like this is a straight
Well,
person, but you've just slapped gay on it. Like, you know what I
a
mean?
sticker. A sticker,
Yeah,
yeah.
like do you think I was kind of wondering too, like if it that had to do with like marketing it more towards a wider audience so it didn't come off as a gay movie so that it was more palatable to the hets.
Yeah, I think if he had been like tongue popping and voguing in scenes, it
Yeah.
really.
And just doing a lot of like this.
Yeah, and that's not even like I understand that's hyperbolic to be funny,
Hmm.
but like in truth, those sort of things would have been off-putting or not marketable in the
Hmm.
film, and it just wouldn't have worked as well. It wouldn't have be consumed by the audience it was consumed by. Because the marketing for the film was that this is like the first like gay love story
Yeah.
for high school students. But when you watch the trailer, it's not like besides him saying I'm gay or whatever, it's not explicitly a queer film. This is a straight film about a gay person. It's not a queer film about a gay person.
Do you think it's more gay than Bros?
No, Bros is
Bros
100%
is
more
more
gay.
gay.
That is a queer film about gay men for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree that it felt like the movie was for straight people
Hmm.
about a gay character.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Jackie? Did you feel that way watching it? You're the most recent eyes on this movie.
Yeah, there were some parts that I kind of just couldn't buy it in a way. I bought his emotional performance for like the anxiety and for moments when he was like distressed about possibly being outed, but some of the other moments of identifying as gay, I didn't find it as believable, and I attributed that to him not knowing that how he was gay, like what his gay identity was. And I did like some of those scenes where he was like, once I'm in college, I'm gonna have a fresh start and I'm just gonna be gay. And they have that entire rainbow sequence
Yeah, I
through
want
the
to dance
dorm
with
rooms.
somebody.
Yes, which I thought was fantastic. He's like, well, maybe not like that gay. So in
Or
part,
that
I
gay.
attributed
Or he
or
could have been
that
that
gay.
gay. Okay.
He could have. In part, I attributed it to him not knowing, but there was a little bit about the performance of him overall, or like the writing choices, that it did feel a little bit not fully there.
Yeah, I think I would have really liked because that whole sequence about him being in college, I would have liked more sequences of him like trying to figure out what kind of quote unquote gay he is
Yeah.
in terms of maybe exploring like different styles of clothing or just different manner like perform the stereotypes that we know about gay people and have the character naturally find what he is even if he realizes at the end of it that he's exactly who he is who he's meant to be, show the audience that these sort of tropes do exist and that all those gay people all those queer people exist and are valid, and that for queer people coming out, we often do, at least I did, question like, okay, well, which one am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to be the fairy? Am I supposed to be the jock? Am I supposed to be the hungry like bottom? Like what? I don't know.
Hungry, hungry
No,
bottom.
but like that, but it's true. At least for me, I was like, I I would love to be more like of
Hmm.
a of a jock built bro type, but that's not, if you hear me, I can't do that. So I had to kind of be okay with having more of like an effeminate voice and doing more effeminate postures and positions.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would have liked to have seen that explored more in the film. there was a scene over the winter break where he's changing his wardrobe and he's trying to figure
Yeah.
it out. And
What
I
do gay
wish
people
that had
dress
been,
like?
yeah,
But
I wish that had been
the wardrobe
longer.
was so
It
bland.
was all the same. It was all the same
It was
clothes.
like t-shirts or like button down. Like nothing with color. It was all like muted tones. I
I
was
was
like,
like, oh my
put a
god.
fucking feather boa on, and then
Yeah,
we'll
do
talk.
something. Please stop wearing fucking gray, black, brown, and like mauve khaki. Get away from it.
Khaki.
Put on more
Khakis.
prints.
American Outfitters is quaking from your
Oh my
review.
god.
Quaking.
The between like the set color choices, the house, the house.
Can we
I
talk
was
about
like,
his room?
we can that too. I was like, we cannot get any more white privileged American
Yes.
suburbs
This whole movie,
Yes.
in
you mean?
this movie.
This.
Well,
Well,
like yes, but like their house.
like his room is so I don't know how you two grew up.
It's huge.
Well, actually, I know how Matt grew up. All right, I don't know how Jackie grew up, but
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, I was like, okay, this kid is in high school. He looks like a queen size mattress.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's huge. And like
And
its
then
own little like cubby.
yeah, and then he's got the chalk painted walls, like the
Yeah.
blackboard painted walls that get chalk on it. And
Yeah.
he's got like the nice record player with all of his like vinyls, and he's got his little
Yes.
laptop and his desk and his window. And I was like, I was in a room about the size of a bathroom
Yep.
with bunk beds
Yep.
where I would hit my head on the ceiling every time I climbed up because the ceilings were low.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at his room and I'm going, I called my mom up, but I was like, what is this?
Yep.
Why is this white twink living the life and I'm over there suffering?
No, it looks like the CEO of Pottery Barn just like came in and had a field day. Like
Yeah.
if they had said the mom was an interior designer or worked for Pottery Barn, I would have bought that also, rather than being a therapist.
I I think
Yeah.
that it's interesting to talk about this too because they actually explore this in Love Victor a little bit. Well, they don't explore it. They kind of poke fun at Love Simon a little bit, and they're because Victor in the follow-up series. Here, I'll explain. Love Victor is the follow-up series to Love Simon. It had 3 seasons, and it featured a person of color as the main character who's also gay.
Mhm.
And they actually jab at Simon a little bit. They're like, Simon, you had it so easy. Like, your family was accepting. Your family's, like, white. But, like, my family's Hispanic. It's not as accepted in like, my life. It's, like, not as easy to take that step. Which I thought was really interesting. And I love that they kind of went for that. But Love Victor has its own problems in and of itself.
Well, we already did that. We reviewed Love Victor on the other podcast. What do the gays think? So why don't you go pause this podcast, go to that one, check out that episode, and then come back.
Meet us
Hell yeah.
here.
Yeah, meet us here. How about we talk about the romance?
All right.
Between
What did you
Simon and
Simon and Blue or
/ Bram. Yeah.
Bram?
Yeah.
First of all, Bram, smash.
Smash. Same.
Smash. If anyone doesn't
Same.
know, I don't. Does anyone know? Keenan Lonsdale is the actor's name, I think.
Mhm.
Keenan Lonsdale. Keenan Lonsdale, could blow up a children's hospital, and I would still be fine with him because this man is so fine.
He's Australian.
He's also sings, which is he's got a good voice. He sings. There's a couple good songs. So hot. So
He's
fine.
also the only queer actual actor who's in this movie.
Wow.
Yes. Was he out at the time?
I think so, yeah. I think I remember watching this film and like looking up the characters and looking up the actors and seeing that he was the only actual queer person.
Well, what I'll say about the romance, because I got a little tangent thinking about how beautiful he was, and I'm doing it again. The romance is great, in my opinion. It's not like perfect. Obviously, it's predicated on withholding information, kind of. It's
Yeah.
predicated on not being completely forthcoming, but that's because it's out of self-preservation. And I think with coming out, with being queer, you can't come out until you feel absolutely comfortable, because there are situations in which you come out and then you are kicked out of your house. You're put in a potentially violent situation. So I think, even though it's predicated on maybe not the best circumstances, for what it was very endearing, because I don't know about you two. I, growing up, before I came out, would frequent, like gay message boards or gay chat rooms. And I would talk to other gay people, which I hoped were around my age, and not like 80-year-old men
Yeah, trying to
pretending to
get you.
be,
Yep.
yeah, trying to
Yeah.
get me. She's not
Yep.
safe.
She's not.
and um and I remember, talking to other queer people in the safety of anonymity online, back when chat rooms were a thing, because they're not really a thing anymore. I'm aging myself a little bit, but it was very comforting. Sometimes it was creepy, obviously. You have to be very careful with those sorts of things, and please be careful. But it was very comforting, and seeing that kind of displayed in a more innocent manner, I was like, oh, okay, this actually does happen.
I thought it was really cute.
And
I
Bram
thought it
is
was
so
very
fucking
sweet.
hot. Oh my god.
Oh my
He's very
god.
gorgeous. I liked their relationship, and I really liked, kind of separate to their actual romance, I really liked how the story kept, how the movie kept switching the tone of voice
Yes.
based on who Simon thought that Blue was. I thought that was really
Mm.
fun.
Yeah.
Can I also
Motif.
say um that their relationship is even cuter in the book because
Is
It
it?
is.
they go so much more in depth in the conversations that they're having over,
Yes.
what is it, over email.
Yeah.
um it's fleshed out a
Oh.
lot more in the book, so you get to see them talking about what they like, them talking about what they dislike, and like kind
Oh.
of growing together as people and kind of encouraging each other. It was
Yeah.
so sweet in the book. I'm
Oh.
not gonna lie, I liked their relationship better in the book. Plus, in the book, they give you more content after they've met.
Okay, I was gonna ask about that. If the book ended
Oh yeah, sweetie.
where the movie did, because I kind of felt, I get there's, time, run times and everything that we have to adhere to, but like I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I didn't really like that it ended on the we finally meet moment. I
Yeah,
wish that
and
there
then they're
had been
just
a
like
bit
kind of
more."
together.
And then it's just like la 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 la, fade to black. And I was like, "No, I wanted
Yeah.
more substance to justify the entire journey that Simon went on, and how he, found someone he really cares and loves."
Did they fuck in the book?
I don't know
I
if
think
they
it's
explicitly do.
I think it's implied that they like have a night together. I think he said like he brings him over, and like they're like timing it so they're like they know when the parents are coming back, so they have like some alone time
Right, right.
in their room. And I think it's implied, and I wanted to see that.
You know what he does do in the book? Before they meet, he masturbates to one of the
Masturbates.
emails.
Oh, that's right. And
It's
you know
just
what?
guessed. It's just guessed.
And
And
you know
he's
what?
joking.
You know what?
This happened in the book. I'm not
Damn.
joking. This happened.
Okay, damn. Okay, damn.
Not you jacking off my emails. That's mother.
But her email.
But that's mother.
Mother.
Well, because you know what? Have you guys? This is somewhat related. Um, have you guys ever read or seen the movie Percival Being a Wallflower?
Yes.
No.
I
Have you read?
read I read the book a
Well,
while, like more than 10
yeah.
years ago. But
They're
yeah.
both great. They're both great. That book is amazing, and that movie's also really good. In the book, he masturbates onto a pillow.
Oh
And I just
yeah.
remember reading that growing up, because I was a teenager reading it, and I was like, it's so scandalous, so hot. And then
Scandalous.
I read the book for Love, Simon, and I read that and I was like, well,
No. Yeah.
interesting. Let's
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
But there's a cute scene with them, and I think it's like his car, and they have like Oreos and milk together,
Oh.
because that's like their thing, and it's like raining or some shit. I don't know. But they get into a lot more in the book, which I liked.
Oh my
Pat
god.
was like trying to flip through the book. Like, where's the 4-page fold out?
Well, then yeah,
fucking
but the
diagram?
pages are so sticky, they stuck together. I had to buy a new copy.
Yeah. Right.
Can
I had to
I
buy a new
can I go
copy.
into the when they meet scene and how it differs from the book
Oh
to the
yeah,
movie?
please
Yes,
tell me.
please.
So there's no Ferris wheel in the book. By the way,
Uh
Mhm.
huh.
there's no Ferris wheel meet scene. What actually happens is Simon is at the carnival and he's riding one of the spinny rides.
He's
Um,
riding
Mm,
Bram.
no. He's
not yet.
riding like
Not
the
yet.
like the teacups where you have like the thing in the
Oh
middle that
yeah.
you grab and you could spin the
Oh,
teacup.
used to love those.
So Blue had said in one of the emails like I don't do spinny rides, like I don't do motion rides because they make me really sick.
Yep.
So Simon is on one of the rides, and then Bram gets on next to him, and says like, "Hey, I'm Blue," and then the ride starts, and Simon spends the whole ride holding the thing steady in the center so that he does not get motion sick. And I died. I was like, "That's so sweet."
That's
When
so
will a man ever do
cute.
anything that sweet for me? My
Oh.
boyfriend doesn't even do that to me. We've been together for
Well,
almost
you know
7
what?
years.
We'll have to go back to the lesbian bar so that you can have niceness reaffirmed
Yeah,
Oh
again.
the
yeah.
fucking you know what's so I could go to that lesbian bar, and I'm sure that whole line in the bathroom be like, "Let him go first. He needs to go," and they'd let me go.
They probably would.
Then they'd buy me a drink, and some gay man would call me cute again. And then Matt would go, "Why didn't he call me cute?" And I was like, "Well, he didn't see you."
Wait, that happened?
That happened.
And he didn't call me cute. Yeah.
We were getting to the other side. This is a tangent. We were getting to the other side of the bar when you were still
Yeah.
trying to go, to the
Little
bathroom.
piss girl, yeah.
And we walked past someone, and I said, "Oh, excuse me," to everyone. And he turns around. He goes, "Oh, don't worry about it." And he goes, "Oh, you're so cute." And I said, "Oh, you're cute too." And he goes, and there's like a pause. He goes, "Thank you." And I couldn't
Oh.
tell if he thought I was being disingenuous because that apparently is a thing. But I was
Yeah.
being genuine. So if that man is listening, which I know he is,
Now, Matt, where were you? If you say I was at the bar, I wasn't even there,
no, he
then
was right
I
behind
was
me,
behind him.
where he wants to be.
Mhm.
Behind me. Yeah, their meet cute is a little different in the book.
that's cute. I kind of like that. The performative Ferris wheel thing, I got it. I understood why they did it in the movie. But I was just like, "Oh, this is going to play out very predictably." And it did.
Yeah.
And it was fine, but I really like how it sounds, like how it went in the book. That sounds cute.
Do you want to talk about Leah?
Sure, let's talk about her. What do we want
Sure.
to
So
say?
Leah's the straight
Oh,
girl,
the
best
best friend.
friend. Well, straight
Yes.
in this movie. Um,
Does
the
she
straight.
come out as gay?
Matt told you already. She's bi
What?
in her. There's a
She's
spin-off book
bisexual
where
in the
she's
book.
bi.
Because this whole time, when I was watching the movie, I was like, she's gonna come out as bi,
Okay, can I
You're
just say
you're
or
this?
is
on
gonna be
something.
like gay.
Can I just say this? She is not only
Yeah.
bisexual in the book. She is not in love with Simon in the book. She's actually in love with Abby in the book.
Yeah.
But that's
So
so much
I
better.
I think just looking at the film and her character, she is just written as like the girl who pines after him. She's not given any real
Yeah.
depth.
Yeah.
She's not giving because there's nothing to give, unfortunately for her.
Yeah.
So her character's kind of flat. And as I said before, when all the friends get upset that he kind of manipulated them and don't really understand his plight, I'm kind of like, and she's like, she goes, "Oh, like didn't you realize like I'm in love with you? I wasn't
Yes.
in love with the other guy. I was in
Yeah.
love with you, and I was trying to tell you the other night, and you just you didn't hear me." And I was like, "Girl, the other night you turned to him and said." I wish I could be the kind of person who'd take a few shots and hook up with the nearest person.
Yeah.
That doesn't scream love. That
No.
screams whore, which is
That was.
totally
What?
fine because I love horror.
Yeah.
That screams horror to me. And also, she's blaming him for like not picking up on these subtle things that she was in love with him. Yet he doesn't blame her for not picking up on his subtle internal strife, his queerness. So like I don't think she really has a place to really shit on him from, except that he was kind of being a little bit of a dick with the whole Martin thing, but there's an explanation for that. They both had missed each other's signals.
Yeah.
And
And
Yeah.
there's like no leeway for Simon at all.
no, she goes so far as to call him cruel. And I was like, That feels too
Dramatic.
callous. Yeah, and callous for, his experience and what he was going through. Wow, knowing that she
The big old
didn't like him,
Leslie.
big old lesbian. I like her even more. Yeah, I wanted to like her more. I hate the trope of like, oh, I was in love with you the whole time.
She's in love with Abby in the book.
Oh, they would be
Not only
so
that,
hot
but she
together.
also, in the first book, when it's focused on Simon,
She
she
masturbates
hates. No, she
her
hates
emails
Abby.
to Abby.
No, 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 no. She like
Yeah.
hates Abby in the first book, but it's because she like loves her, kind of. Like that's kind of how it was.
Because Abby's stirring up the feelings and she's like
Yeah,
has to
she's like,
repress them,
oh,
so she converts it to anger.
I'm
That's
not
Yeah.
kind of what. Yeah, that's kind of what it was.
I don't want to
Yeah.
kiss your face.
I want to punch your face, not kiss it all over and
Enemies
lick
to
you,
lovers.
and hold hands,
touch those boobies.
draw you
Whatever
like
women
one of
do
my
with each other.
French girls.
Anyway, that book has
Not
its own
me.
problems as well. Lay on
I'm
the
gonna
off.
braid each other's
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah, that's definitely what lesbians do.
Braid each other's hair.
We're queer people because they're not lesbians.
Are you a lesbian?
Hmm?
What?
What? What was that?
Matt, what were you gonna say?
What was your guys' favorite moment in the movie or favorite scene?
Oh.
It's the mom conversation.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
the mom.
It's the mom.
The actress
Giving
is
mother.
it's giving mother. Who's the actress? From 13 going on 30.
Yeah.
The fuck's her name? Used to date Ben Affleck, used to be married to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, her.
Her.
What's
Love,
hold on,
Simon.
let me
Hold on. Hold on.
You got this.
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner.
Got there.
I was
And
so surprised.
Josh Duhamel as the father.
Yeah, I was like interesting because I didn't expect her to be like, I don't know. She's a great actress. I was like, wow, she's playing the mom in this film, and she doesn't get much, but that scene, I mean, it's every queer person's like dream.
Yeah.
If they have a good relationship with their mom, or just to
Yeah.
have any relationship with a parent, and the parent to be like, you're like, it's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong. The dad has his little moment where he needs to get the fuck over himself, and he does, which is great. But that scene really,
Oh man.
It was so
that made me
good.
that made me feel things that I
It made
didn't
me-
want to feel at first, and then I was like,
Yeah.
I have to feel them.
It made me feel things too.
Yeah.
It was so well delivered. I wasn't expecting her to give such mother vibes.
Yeah, she
but
ate.
She ate.
She ate.
No
in that
crumbs.
scene. Lick the plate clean.
Lick the plate clean. Lick that
Yeah.
plate clean, Jennifer Gardner. Eat.
Yeah, I thought that was very fulfilling. Yeah, I did like the dad. I did also like the dad's conversation with the son, because for me, I interpreted as his comments came off as total ass hattery, which they were, but it was from a place more of like, I missed these cues, and he was angry at himself, and it did not come across as well. He was like, I missed 4 years or whatever it is worth of time where these conversations could have been different, where I could have known more about you and I didn't. So I thought that was,
Yeah.
I liked how their relationship was resolved.
I think it's common for, well, no, I'm not gonna say that. I think from my experience with parents, not just my own, but yeah, they do beat themselves up after not, if they care about their kids at least, not registering that something is wrong. Well, some don't. Not registering that something is wrong. And you know, I assume, I'm not a parent, but I am a parent of dogs. You want to protect your kid from everything. I want to protect my dogs from everything. So when you can't, or when you know you've made your child feel worse, unloved, or alone, I'm sure that's awful.
Yeah.
That's why I'm never having kids, so I'll never feel that.
Sure.
Work.
You make us feel like that.
Oh.
No.
Unloved, alone, awful.
Alone, awful.
I
No.
brought you to the dyke bar.
I know, you're such a good dad.
You big old nasty
You big old
Lizzie.
nasty.
Jesus Christ.
Seen, loved, heard.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great time.
Oh, I meant you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Matt, or Jackie, was that your favorite scene? Oh, no, you said
No,
the dad
that-
scene
no,
was
that-
good.
Yeah, the both parents scene, but the mom scene
Yeah.
especially.
Matt, what did you like the
Yeah, that
most?
that was definitely my favorite scene as well. It was such a good scene.
Mother.
It was
So
everyone's
wholesome.
favorite scene. Well, I don't want to say that.
Lilith.
Lilith.
It was giving mother.
Blessed Mother.
It was giving
Yep.
season. It was giving share. It was giving.
Mm-hmm.
I said my name was Cher. I never said I was fucking noble.
Sarah's noble bitch.
God damn it, Chaz! Left his roller skate on the stairs and I twisted my ankle.
Here's another question that I had. Did we think that Nick Robinson portrayed Simon well?
So I thought, he, like I said before, I think he did well to encapsulate the emotion in terms of the anxiety. He went on in interviews to say that like he spoke to, I think, like his gay cousin or brother or something to kind of get, I guess, like a to-do list or something. I don't like, he didn't really explain what, but
Suck dick.
like a 101 on how to be gay.
Yeah, suck
But
dick.
I mean, this wasn't a queer film though, in my opinion. So like his character did not perform queerness besides liking men, which isn't hard, at least in my opinion, to portray. At least he performed liking men well. I guess that's great. And he performed anxiety well, but he didn't perform queerness well because he's not queer and the character really wasn't queer. You know, it's supposed to be marketed as, oh, like he's just an everyday guy who happens to be gay. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
there could be more.
Mm-hmm.
There can be more.
I mean, but that is like there can be. I don't want to say normal because nobody's normal. Everyone's fucking weird. We should
Matt,
all
I
this.
know. We know each other.
I saw that swing in your bedroom.
Oh. No, nobody's
Interesting.
normal. But you can just be like a quote unquote normal person, but except you like men or whatever.
Yeah.
That is true. People like that exist, but there's more to it, especially when it comes to queer culture and like queerness in general.
Yeah. I think I touched on this before. I think I had more of an issue with the writing, like that he could have performed what's his name? Nick Robinson as the actor, I think could have performed it well had the writing in the movie been there for those
Right. I
reasons.
think I think he's a good. I mean, I haven't actually seen him in anything else besides like maybe one other film, so maybe he's not a good actor. I don't know, but from what I saw, he seems capable.
I don't buy him as a gay man in either the movie or in real life. So,
Well, he's definitely not in real life. He's straight.
Yeah.
right. Well, obviously, but there's times where a straight person is playing a queer person, but they like appear as a queer person, like they're playing it well. An example of this could be, did you guys see Glee?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you're gonna say fucking, oh my God. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Ew.
about.
You know who I'm talking about?
Chris Colfer's character's boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
You mean I don't know the character's name or the actor's name apparently.
Well, the actor's straight, but I think he plays gay well enough.
He plays
to
gay
make it
multiple
believable.
times. He's played gay in like 3 different things. And then he said he's gonna stop playing gay because he's like, gay people should probably play it and not me. And I was like, well,
and I typically would like my queer characters to be played by queer
Darren
people.
Chris?
Will Sherrod.
No,
Darren
No.
Chris? Darren Chris. 2 first names.
Oh, weird.
That's fucking weird.
That's weird. But yeah, I typically like my queer characters to be played by queer people because I feel like they encapsulate the experience better, and plus, a lot of times they can't get other roles because they're perceived as to be too queer. So I like when they do get the queer roles. But that's besides the point. This is back in 2018. Movies like this didn't really exist. In the 5 years that have passed since this movie, we have gotten so much more juicy movies that came after this.
How did you see my OnlyFans? Juicy movies.
I subscribed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Juicy movies.
I think it was great for the time that it was released.
I would agree with that.
Oh yeah, I left the theater going, "Oh my God, that was great."
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Even now, when watching it, I did not think too ill of it. I would still consider this a positive contribution to queer media. I
Yes, I
Yeah.
don't
still
think
think,
this. Yeah,
yeah, I still think it does something important by having the focal point be about, a coming out experience. I liked it.
Yeah, like this launched like a whole bunch of gay male high school storylines. Honestly, I feel like we got so many right after Love, Simon. We got Heartstopper, Love, Victor, Sex Education came
I was gonna say
out.
sex
Like a whole
education.
bunch of this other stuff started coming out, and I was like, wow, this is great. Maybe okay, maybe Glee started it, but I feel like
well, I
Love, Simon
mean,
really kicked it off.
yeah,
We got
there's a
so much
lot.
more.
There are a lot of stepping stones in the way
Hmm.
to representation.
Yeah.
Excuse me, my God. Um,
You a little sleepy?
volleyball kicked my ass today. So yeah, I think there's a lot of stepping stones in the way to representation, but this definitely is a positive addition to the annals of queer media. The
Anals?
annals,
Hmm.
the annals.
Yeah.
ANNULS or ANULS or ANULLS.
Annuls.
A-L.
Let's annul them. Oh my God! Fire Emblem annulment. It's the DLC before Divorce comes out.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Fire Emblem seeing other people.
Fire Emblem
ANNALS.
adoption.
Fire Emblem open relationship.
Fire
Polyamory.
Emblem, see other people.
Fire
Yeah.
Emblem sister wives.
You know what movie we should also queer review now that I'm just thinking about like this time era of
Yeah.
Brokeback
movies?
Mountain.
No, that was a lot earlier. Call Me by Your Name.
Call me by your
I will.
name.
I will. I've seen it.
I
I've read.
don't.
Has anyone read the book here but me?
I have not
No.
read the book. No.
That would be a very interesting conversation to have because pedo vibes.
Oh, it's
Oh.
He
got that guy.
Army Hammer the cannibal allegedly.
Well, him and Timothy.
Chalamet who plays a cannibal in another movie.
He's kind of creepy.
You got two straight men playing gay, a cannibal, and then the other straight one becomes a cannibal in another film.
What else
It's
is this
layered.
guy in? Oh my god, why do I Oh, Dune. That's what I recognize him for.
I love Dune. Did you see
And
Dune?
no, I
It was
started to watch
so
Dune
good.
and then I didn't finish it.
I love Dune.
Beautiful Boy. I like scrolled through that one. That's what I recognize it from.
You're a beautiful boy.
Thank you.
Maybe we should review that. Maybe next time on Glee we'll do that.
Next time on the Under Queer Review.
We could review the first season of Glee.
He's gonna be Willy Wonka.
I know.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't feel well about it.
You know what? Schitt's Creek is also in the this realm, this era.
Oh, we could do Schitt's Creek. You're
Yeah,
right.
we could do Schitt's Creek.
We could do
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain as well if we really want to.
We sure could do Brokeback
Yeah,
Mountain.
I wanna, cause like you know what the really a sort of not groundbreaking, but like something that really happened to Brokeback Mountain that really solidified it for me. They go out into the middle of the fucking of nature, setting up their tent, and they're raw dogging each other with no lube. So you know it's just spit, and you know they didn't have douches out there, so it's probably a mess. And I think that's romantic.
That's romantic.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way. That's
Although, do you guys know how it ends?
No.
I know
and
it doesn't end well. Doesn't end.
I know
quote,
it doesn't
happily.
end. It doesn't end happily, which is just another queer story. It doesn't end happily.
Yeah, just like Call Me by Your Name, the same thing.
Well, did you read the sequel?
No, I didn't.
Call
Well,
Me
then
by
you-
Your Name or Brokeback Mountain.
Call Me by Your Name has a sequel. The book does. I don't think they're gonna make a sequel film because of Armie Hammer being a cannibal, allegedly.
All
I
right,
didn't
back
know this about him.
back to Love, Simon. Is there
Mhm.
any other burning questions that you guys want to address?
Well, after I took the medicine, I'm not burning anymore down there.
That's good.
Let me think. Oh, okay. There is one thing that kind of annoyed me.
Yeah.
I believe it's only in the film. It might be in the book. When his
Go ahead. I thought of something too.
okay,
It might be the same thing.
I don't. Oh, okay. Well, when the posts go live
Uh-huh.
and he gets the message like to go look at it, he's looking online, and then his sister comes in, and the sister has a very brief interaction with him, where she's like, I reported the posts. They'll get taken down. He goes, it's too late. Everyone knows. And she goes, well, you could always hide it or deny it. He goes, why would I deny it? I'm not ashamed of it. And then she starts crying and he goes, what are you crying for? And then she like leaves the room. So many things are happening in that scene that don't make any sense to me. For one thing, the daughter comes in and she's already looks upset. And then she starts progressively crying. And I was like, this has nothing to do with you. Why are you crying?
Oh,
And then for her to say you should hide it, and it's like, well, that's not very supportive. And then him going, I'm not ashamed. I was like, clearly you are
you
because you've
are,
been
yeah.
closeted.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a lot going on in that scene. None of it I liked. And it's not really talked about anymore. Like, it wasn't mentioned afterwards. I was like, this is really just bad writing, in my opinion.
I wasn't bothered by the sister's reaction because to me it was like big younger sibling vibes. I was like, oh, this tracks for me. But I kind of wish that they had had a resolution as siblings besides when she defends him to the father when she says something like, do you ever just shut the fuck up or whatever.
If I had said that to my dad, abuse would have happened in the household. Abuse would have happened.
Well, she told him. The one thing that bothered me was after the letters are released, Simon is walking through the school and he sees the fucking vice principal. I forget the actor's name. He's so fucking funny. He's in yeah. And he says something to Simon that was like, when I said we had a lot in common, I didn't mean.
Oh yeah.
I didn't mean like that. Like
yeah.
That we were gay, and I was like, that.
It's such a weird interaction.
I was like, that wasn't helpful.
That principal also was written as not a genuine character. Like him just running around behaving
grabbing
the way he
phones.
does, grabbing phones. I was like, although I did like the theater teacher when she walks in and the two people are making out. And she's like, don't even try to hide it. It's the most action I've seen in 6 months. And I was like,
yes.
She needs her pussy ate.
But somebody comments too at one point that, what do they say? They're like, well, she isn't like men either. Like, somebody comments, I was like, that's amazing. But when she yells at those two assholes, fuck down from the table, I was just like,
gagged.
Someone finally, telling these two little dipshits with. Although when the gay kid, the kid that's already out, is like, didn't your mom tell you it's not good to like grab your micro penis in public? We should get some hummus for this baby carrot.
Gagged. Gagged.
See, that's queer. That's queer. The reading, that's queer.
That was
queer. And then like him coming out and all the girls going, oh my god, you're gay.
Oh my god.
And that one girl was like, oh my god, I'm so surprised. And the other girl was like, too much, Brittany.
That was
shut the fuck up.
There were some good funny moments in the movie. There were.
Yes, comedically there were some very good moments which I liked.
Yeah.
It was just everything else I didn't. No, I'm just kidding. The movie's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The cabaret performance.
Oh my god.
Did y'all know who it was going to be, or did you have a guess of who Blue was going to be at the end? And did you think it was going to be Bram until he showed up?
No, I didn't know.
I don't think I did know, and in a way, I think at some point I stopped trying to figure out who it was because I don't think I was expecting Bram.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really enjoying Simon's journey, and I think, I was not expecting it to be Bram.
I think it didn't. At a certain point, I was like, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is like their development, obviously, and whether or not I think the relationship as it is genuine. And I was like, well, thank God it's Kenan Lonsdale because he's the most smashable one there. So I was happy.
I will say I was really glad that it wasn't just some white guy. Like in the beginning, when they're first starting to show him, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's gonna be like two white gay men again. Like, can we not do the same story? Yeah, two white twinks again.
Yeah,
it was us last night with my
two white twinks.
Jesus Christ!
I was really glad to see that it was a person of color
and a smashable one at that.
Yes.
A very
Oh
smashable
god.
one.
Yeah.
If Keenan Lonsdale sent me an email, I'd masturbate to it.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
What? Simon did it. What? I can't? Am I somehow like gross? He's an adult. I'm an adult.
Great, amazing. I
Okay.
personally probably would not masturbate to an email from Keenan Lonsdale unless it contained an image of his penis.
How about you, Jackie?
Would I masturbate to it?
Yeah.
Man, it's hard to say without context.
I'll
Maybe.
call him up and I'll ask him to send
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
one.
Ring them up. Yeah.
Okay, great. Final thoughts.
Did it pass the queer review? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes. 3 out of 3.
Tens
Amazing.
across the board.
I
Mama.
honestly thought, I didn't know if either of you were going to have it pass the queer review. I had already known from the beginning I was going to say yes. I didn't know if Pat was going to say yes. So
I was curious if you two were
Oh,
gonna say
yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not like it's not the fucking Mona Lisa of queer content, but it's something. Like when
It's
I was younger, I would have
yeah,
loved to see this if I was a
yeah.
babe, like still a little
Same.
baby. Would have loved it. Loved it.
Same.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Though it was marketed as, for maybe a more straight audience, I think it's still groundbreaking. And as Pat said, if I had been younger when this came out, this
Yeah.
would have been so monumental to, I think, my journey and seeing a queer story told where they both live at the end and are
Oh,
together and happy.
Surprise, surprise. They're both
Yeah.
alive and
They're
they're
both
both happy
alive.
at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Really quickly. The
Mhm.
series Love Victor. Yeah.
yeah.
They bring back some characters from Love Simon. Particularly, I think Simon. Do they bring back his boyfriend? They do, right?
Simon's boyfriend
Bram?
plays more of a. Okay, Bram comes back, yes. He's shown
They,
more than Simon is, but
but
Simon's
they're
voice is more in it.
yeah. I was like, are they gonna break them up? Because I thought it was gonna be one of those things like, yeah, me and Bram, like we really liked each other in high school, but after a few years in college, we just grew apart and we're now
Grew
with other
apart.
people. And I was like, it's very common for that kind of stuff to happen, but I was like,
Mhm.
let's just let them have
No,
it. Let's just
Just
let
they
them
have
kept them
be.
it. Just let
together.
them have it.
Yeah, yeah. Although
Although,
Keenan Lonsdale and who plays Victor? Michael Sereno or something? What's his name? I
yeah,
don't
some
know.
Michael something. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're close, if not
I
exactly
wouldn't
right.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'd pay money.
Okay.
I had heard that the author was potentially going to write another Simon book. Um,
Yes, I heard that as well.
because
I would be
she
into
wrote
that.
one about Leia, which is the next one, and I'm trying to figure out
Princess
Princess
Leia.
Leia.
if another Simon book was coming out.
Maybe Force be
Princess
with you.
Leia.
Princess Leia.
She'll be slaying somebody.
Oh, the Upside Unrequited. Did this come out?
I guess we're gonna
I
have to
guess I
check it
have to
out.
read it.
But where do I read it?
But where do I read it? I guess this is another Simon book that I just
Ooh.
didn't realize. All right, I'm gonna have to read this if this is another Simon book.
Read it and weep.
Read it and weep.
I'll weep because it won't be well written. I'll cry
Slay.
about it.
Damn.
All right, well, I think that's the end of this episode of Under Queer Review, and it sounds like Love Simon has passed the queer review.
Sure does.
Yeah. Do we want to tease what might be next for our listeners?
Yeah, what is coming up next?
I don't know. I was hoping one
I
of
was
you would
gonna
tease
say I
it.
don't think we know ourselves.
I'm gonna
Oh,
give you
we have some things in the pot. We're
yeah,
cooking.
I'll give them little hints for what it could be. It could be about
Right.
vampires.
It could be.
It could be about people who come on peaches.
Wait.
Jackie's like, what's that? You'll find out, Jackie. It could be about two cowboys getting it on in nature. It could be about an overweight gay man who pushes away his daughter for years.
Could be about a magic world. High fantasy and dragons.
High fantasy, yeah, dragon.
High fantasy and dragons.
Yeah.
It could be about
a high school band of Glee members.
Yeah, a musical group in high school
I didn't
who
know
are
how to
trying
say it
to
without saying the
navigate
show name.
sexuality. It could be about anything. You never know.
Never know.
It could be about two people who realize they're gonna die at the end of the day and spend a day
No.
together.
It
Could be
could be
about
about that.
that.
It could be
It
about
could
that.
be. Oh, could be about, or it could be
Oh.
about a legendary, powerful female warrior who has the ability to, move the elements.
Master of all four elements. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we do a Legend of Korra review? I think we
No,
did.
Not
Kyoshi,
Legend
I
of
meant.
Korra.
I meant
Oh, Kyoshi.
Kyoshi.
Right.
He
Sorry.
spilled the beans.
I'm sorry. Out of all those hints, I did explicitly
Ah.
state one. We have like 8 others to work with.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all
Alright.
for joining us on this lovely episode of Undercrew Review. I'm Patrick with Matt and Jackie. You can find us here almost monthly,
Oh.
roughly monthly.
Roughly.
Just kind of dropped in whenever. And then, of course, you can catch... What do you do? Cat's cradle with your fucking hoodie?
Yeah, I realized how distracted I was.
And you can find Matt and I on our podcast, What Did the Gays Think Out, every other Wednesday. And then you could find us also on Twitch at What Did the Gamers Think every Monday. And then
Oops.
Tuesday. And then you can find Jackie on Twitch every Thursday at Jackie_the_bananas. We also have a Twitter at Pride Empire with a 3 instead of an E, right?
Yeah.
And then we also have a Discord at Pride Empire. And Jackie's Twitter is at King_Jaqueen.
You're goddamn right.
Did I cover everything?
I think that was it.
I think so.
Wow, it's so much. We have so much going on.
do.
You ever think to yourself, like, oh, I have my like regular job and like, oh, I go hang out with friends, but it's like, oh wait, I also have this whole other life where
Yeah.
I'm a podcaster and a Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever think about that? Is that wild?
It's so crazy.
Okay,
So-
never. Guess that's just me.
I was being genuine.
I couldn't tell because you didn't say it. Because you didn't
I
say
was
genuine.
Genuine.
You should have said genuine because I didn't believe you.
Can we do our fun sign-offs? I like when we do that.
Okay. I'm masturbating into a pillow, reading an email. Patrick.
I am coming into a peach, Matt.
I feel like now I have to do one to this theme.
Jackie's like, why do I feel like I have to orgasm now?
Okay, I'm stuck on the Ferris wheel waiting for my love to show up. That was going to be mine, but you two took it in a very different direction.
I mean, you could have said you're waiting for Martin to kill himself, apparently.
I was waiting for him to kill himself.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Wait,
Goodbye.
no, unless I made to Jennifer Garner.
What?